Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. And feelings, they're soft. They come and go. They show up when it's easy and vanish when it's not. But discipline, that's different. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're sore, stressed, or in the mood. It just gets the job done every single time. Everybody wants success, but nobody wants to grind when it's boring, painful, or invisible. And that's where most people lose. Because the truth is this: the days you want to quit, the days it feels pointless, the days you're alone and nothing's working, those are the days that build you. That's where champions are made. Not in hype, not in comfort, but in the fire, when you choose discipline over feelings. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is identity. Everyone wants to change. Everyone wants to level up, get shredded, get rich, get respected. Everyone says they want it. But here's the truth no one says out loud. Wanting it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because everyone wants it until it's time to wake up at 4 a.m., until it's time to train when your body aches, until it's time to grind while everyone else is having fun. And that's where the crowd thins out. That's where most people fold like paper. Because they built everything on one weak foundation: motivation. Motivation is emotional. It's soft. It's moody. It's a fair weather friend. It's great when it's there. But where is it when your alarm goes off and your body screams no? Where is it when you're broke, tired, and nobody's clapping for you? Nowhere. Motivation is like a hit of dopamine. It's like sugar for the soul. Quick, sweet, gone in 10 minutes. It'll get you to start, but it will never make you stay. That's why you start things and never finish, because you relied on a feeling instead of a system. And that's where discipline enters the room. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if it's raining. It doesn't care if your friends are out partying. Discipline is brutal. Discipline is cold. Discipline says, I do it anyway. You show up when you're exhausted. You train when your body wants to rest. You work when the world's asleep because your mission doesn't care about your mood. This is what men are made of. Not vibes, not hype, not inspiration, but decisions. Uncomfortable, hard, lonely decisions. You see that guy with the six-pack, that dude with the business, the respect, the power? He didn't wake up feeling like it every day. He just decided that how he felt didn't matter anymore. Let me say that again. How you feel doesn't matter. That's the difference between being average and being undeniable. You think warriors feel motivated to go to war? You think champions feel motivated every single morning? Hell no. They've just trained their mind to do it regardless. And once that discipline locks in, it becomes your identity. You're no longer a guy who goes to the gym. You're a guy who doesn't miss. You're not someone who tries to build a business. You're someone who builds regardless of failure or fear. You're not chasing motivation anymore. You've become the machine. You want to win? Forget motivation. Kill that weak mindset. Start thinking like a savage. Get addicted to doing what other people avoid. Get obsessed with pushing when it's uncomfortable, because that's where growth happens. The days you want to quit are the exact days that build you. That's the test. That's the doorway. That's the voice asking, are you serious about this or not? And discipline. Discipline says yes before the question is even finished. Let the other guys wait for the right moment. Let them binge YouTube videos for inspiration. Let them post motivational quotes they don't live by. You move different. You build. You execute. You show up every single day, no matter what. Not for likes, not for validation, but because that's who you've become. Discipline isn't a tool in your toolbox. It's the entire damn frame you're built on. People will look at you and say, bro, how do you stay so motivated? And you'll laugh, because they'll never get it. You don't feel like it, you just do it. That's the code. That's the edge. No more mood-based effort. No more comfort chasing. No more softness. You want to be powerful? Then act like it. Discipline is the armor. Discipline is the fire. Discipline is the reason you'll survive the storm when everyone else drowns in excuses. So burn this into your DNA. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is identity. And once that identity is locked in, you don't chase greatness. You drag it to you, one painful disciplined step at a time. You're not here to try. You're here to become something different. Discipline is what builds monsters. You want to rise, you want to dominate, you want to look in the mirror and respect the man staring back, then forget motivation. Forget hype. Forget waiting for the right time. Because while you're waiting to feel inspired, someone out there is grinding through pain. Someone is outworking you in silence, and he's going to take everything you ever dreamed of because he was disciplined and you were emotional. Let that sink in. You see, motivation is loud. It gets you fired up for a moment, and then it disappears. But discipline is quiet. It's not a roar. It's a cold, calm storm. It's the voice in your head that says, get up, do it, now. No matter how you feel, no matter how tired, how sore, how defeated you are, discipline doesn't care. It doesn't care if it's raining. It doesn't care if your body aches. It doesn't care if you're sad, if you're alone, if you're broke. It only asks one thing. Will you show up anyway? You think monsters are built when it's convenient? No, they're built when it's hell. They're built in the moments where 99% of people quit, when it hurts, when it's boring, when it feels like nothing's changing. But that's when it's working. That's when the beast is growing, when no one's watching, when the gym is empty, when the world is asleep and you're out there sweating, grinding, bleeding, alone. That's where real strength is built. That's where monsters are born. You want to be dangerous? Then you better learn to do the hard things with no audience, no praise, no rewards, just discipline, just grit, just you versus you. It's you showing up at 5 a.m. when no one's up. It's you pushing through that last rep when your muscles are screaming. It's you choosing the grind when everyone else is choosing pleasure. Discipline is cold. It's ruthless. It doesn't care about your excuses, your circumstances, your comfort. It demands results. And if you don't feed it, if you give in to comfort, to weakness, to that soft voice in your head, then don't expect anything back. Because greatness doesn't reward the lazy. It doesn't crown the comfortable. It crowns the relentless. You want to separate yourself from the pack? Then stop acting like them. Stop waiting for motivation like it's some golden key. It's not. The key is in your hands, and it's called self-control. Monsters don't whine. They don't scroll for motivation. They don't pray for easier days. They build armor through the pain. They build fire through repetition. They build legacy through discipline. Because every single time you say, no, I won't quit. No, I won't sleep in. No, I don't care if no one's watching. I'm still working. You take another step toward your throne. You sharpen your edge. You make yourself untouchable. And here's the truth. Discipline is not something you turn on and off. It's who you are. It's what you live by. It's the code that shapes your actions, your mindset, your identity. It's what builds monsters in a world full of soft men. It's what builds weapons in a generation full of victims. You want to live average? Keep doing what feels good. Keep sleeping in. Keep quitting when it gets hard. But if you want to be different, if you want to be the one that they can't ignore, then you better be willing to bleed, to suffer, to outlast. You better be willing to do what no one else will do for years, without praise, without applause, without validation. Because one day, all those lonely hours, all those unseen sacrifices, they won't be wasted. They'll be stacked, layered, weaponized. And you'll walk into every room with your chest high, not because you're arrogant, but because you earned it. because you went through the fire and you came out steel. So remember this, motivation is weak. Discipline is divine. Discipline is sacred. It's not flashy. It's deadly. It's not something you show off. It's something you carry deep in your blood, like a warrior's oath, like a lion's instinct, like a monster's heartbeat. Be that man. The one who doesn't need hype. The one who's dangerous in silence. The one who's a machine built on nothing but hard decisions. You don't feel like it? Too bad. Do it anyway. Because that's what monsters do. Discipline is a daily war. Let's get one thing straight. Discipline isn't a skill, it's a lifestyle. It's not something you pick up when you're in the mood. It's not something you do when everything feels right. Discipline is a war, and it doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about how tired you are. It doesn't care if it's raining, if you're sore, if you're heartbroken. None of it matters. Because discipline is the decision to show up regardless. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the flame. You've been lied to, sold on the idea that motivation is what drives success, that you just need the right mindset or a playlist or a quote to push through. But here's the truth. Motivation is weak. It's an emotion, a flicker, a spark. It's there one moment, gone the next. You don't build a legacy on sparks. You build it on discipline, the fire that never goes out, the kind of fire that keeps burning even when your world is falling apart, even when your legs are shaking, even when your mind says quit. Discipline is what carries you when everything else fails. Every morning before you even move, the enemy speaks. Stay in bed. You've done enough? Take a break. No one's watching. You'll do it tomorrow. That voice is a liar. That voice wants to destroy you. That voice wants you to stay the same. It wants you soft, tame, average. And guess what? That voice isn't external. It's you, the weak version of you, the coward inside, the quitter that lives deep in your head, always ready to take control. But here's the catch. You don't silence that voice by arguing. You silence it by doing, by getting up, by working when it's uncomfortable, by showing up when it's inconvenient, by executing when no one claps for you. Discipline isn't inviting, it's ruthless. It's 4 a.m. alarms. It's training when you're broken. It's studying while everyone's out partying. It's working behind the scenes for months, maybe years, with zero recognition. But that's where killers are made. That's where lions are raised, not in comfort, in chaos. Because comfort is a liar. Comfort wants you slow. Comfort wants you forgettable. Comfort wants you living the same damn day for the rest of your life. Discipline is the enemy of comfort. It's the brutal truth you've been avoiding. It's the cold shower your soft mind hates. It's the pain that forges diamonds. Average men lose the daily war. Most men will lose this war. They'll give in to that soft voice. They'll quit when it's hard. They'll scroll their lives away. They'll live and die in the prison of good enough, but not you. Because you didn't come this far to be normal. You didn't come this far to blend in. You came to build something hard, something real, something unbreakable, and that only comes through discipline. The beast is built when no one's clapping. You want to know when beasts are born? Not when the lights are on, not when people are cheering. Beasts are built in silence, in the empty gym, in the long nights with no praise, in the work no one posts about, in the suffering no one sees. That's where greatness is born. You earn respect when no one's watching, and when the time comes, you walk into the room and everyone feels it. Not because you said something, but because you became something, brick by brick, day by day. You don't need to do it all today. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be disciplined. You do need to stack bricks, one by one. No excuses, no shortcuts. Some days you'll be on fire. Other days you'll barely make it out of bed. But either way, you show up, because that's what separates the elite from everyone else. Discipline turns you into a man worth remembering. Let the others chase trends. Let them chase shortcuts. Let them keep running from the grind. But you chase purpose. You chase legacy. You're building a name no one will forget. Discipline makes you dangerous, not because of how loud you are, but because of how consistent you are. You don't flinch, you don't fold, you don't fade when it's hard. You thrive in the pressure because this isn't just discipline. It's who you are now. Discipline is a daily war. And every time you show up, you don't just win the day, you bury the man you used to be. Keep showing up. Keep sharpening your sword. Because when discipline becomes your identity, no one can stop you. The results don't lie. Look around. You'll notice something real quick. The ones who are actually winning, they're not the loudest in the room. They're not bragging. They're not preaching about how bad they want it. They're just doing it. No drama, no noise, just work. They don't post every time they train. They don't need validation. They're too busy building something real because they understand one truth most people ignore. Results don't care how you feel. They don't care if you're tired. They don't care if you're bored. They don't care if you had a long day or if life kicked you in the teeth. Results only care about one thing. Did you show up and execute or not? You want to know what separates the elite from the average? What separates warriors from wishers? It's not talent. It's not good genetics. It's not luck. It's not motivation. It's discipline. That gritty, masculine inner steel that says, I do this every damn day, whether I feel like it or not. That's the difference. That's the gap. And most people, they never close it. Because they're addicted to comfort. They chase motivation. They want the hype, not the habits. But beasts, they don't wait for the mood to strike. They move regardless. So the next time you feel that weak voice creeping in, I'm not in the mood. I'll just skip today. I'll start tomorrow. You shut it the hell down. That's your cue. That's the exact moment where men are made. Because that's where separation begins. While others sleep, you're working. While others delay, you're executing. While others hope, you're creating results. You see, the grind doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It rewards the ones who show up anyway. It rewards those who stay locked in, who don't flinch under pressure, who don't make excuses, who do the work when no one's clapping. That's real masculinity. Not words, not talk, action, execution, discipline. You don't get a crown for intentions. You earn it through pain, through sweat, through showing up even on the days you want to stay in bed and disappear. Let me tell you something that should scare you. Someone out there is doing the exact work you're avoiding, and he's going to beat you. He's going to get the reward you said you wanted, not because he's more talented, but because he was more disciplined. He showed up when it sucked. He showed up when it hurt. He showed up when it was boring, repetitive, and thankless. And now he gets the life you were dreaming about. Why? Because the results don't lie. You want the body? Earn it. You want the success? Grind for it. You want the respect? Bleed for it. Motivation might get you started, but it's discipline that finishes the job. It's discipline that builds empires. It's discipline that carves legends out of nobodies. So don't tell me how bad you want it. Show me how consistent you are. Because beasts, they don't beg for results. They dominate until results have no choice but to appear. When you understand this, you stop hoping. You stop complaining. You stop looking for easy. And you embrace the pain. You embrace the process. You become the storm. Because the truth is simple, brother. At the end of the day, the scoreboard don't lie. The mirror don't lie. Your results don't lie. It's either you paid the price or you made excuses. So what's it going to be? In the end, motivation fades. Feelings change. But discipline, that's what keeps you moving when everything else tells you to stop. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to show up anyway. Because discipline always wins. Every single time. If this message locked you in, drop a like, hit subscribe, and comment, "I choose discipline," to prove you stayed till the end and you're built different. Motivation is optional. Discipline is identity. See you in the next one.